One thing that I always get, people not knowing their worth, right? Or AKA not feeling like they're enough. And a guy on Instagram Live just asked me that question. He's like, what do I do when I feel like I'm not enough? And so I always ask people this question. If you came to any of my events this year, you know I've asked this. I said, what is enough? Like, what's your definition of enough? And 9 times out of 10, the people who feel like they're not enough don't even know what enough is, right? They don't have a definition for enough. What that means is that if you don't know what enough is, you're accepting someone else's definition of enough, right? And a lot of our problems come from external things, right? We let the things outside of us affect the things inside of us. Example, we let how people feel about us change how we feel about ourselves, right? We let people make us feel like we're not worthy, and then we start to feel like we're not worthy. We let not just people, we let things, situations, habits, all of that. And so I feel like personally enough is how you were created to be, period. It's how you're created to be. You know, enough is not, a bank account. It's not followers. It's not a relationship. You're enough because God created you enough. And you have to really believe that and own that. Like everything else is just extra credit. Extra credit. And a lot of us, we measure our life, right, by the world standards. We measure our life by comparing our life. We measure our life by Instagram followers. We measure our life by how many people show up at our events. We measure our life by all of these things. And the more we measure our life, the more we're teaching ourselves to feel like we're not enough. Because I'm going to tell you something. Even when you get enough, I promise you that enough will only last for a short time. And enough will only last for a short time. And then you're going to feel like you need more, you need more, you need more, you need more. And you're always going to feel depressed because you feel like you can never obtain, right, that enough. And so think about that. Every time you say you're not enough, ask yourself, okay, well, what is enough? And why do I feel like that? Everybody talks about know your worth, right? But what does that really mean? Like knowing your worth. I feel like personally that God gave us worth at birth, period. Like you are incredible. And when you truly see that and own that and feel it, and like I said, it's hard to see it. It's hard to feel it when you're looking at your life, when you're looking at yourself through the eyes of someone who can care less about you, period. And a lot of us, we're in those situations, right? We will never feel like we're not enough. We'll never feel like we have worth because we're in environments that make us feel like we're not worthy. We're in environments that tear us down, not build us up. We're in environments that make us feel like we're less. So you're always going to feel like less trying to change for someone who wouldn't change for you. You're always going to feel like less seeing yourself through the eyes of someone who could care less about you. When people say they don't know, they don't feel like they have worth or they're not enough, it's because 9 times out of 10, it's because of something external, right? And what do I always tell you guys? You might not be in control of what someone tries to give you, but you are in control of what you accept. Stop giving people the permission. Stop giving people the power to control how you feel about you. Because at the end of the day, no matter what people say, no matter what people do, you don't have to accept those things. I get it. It's a lot easier said than done. I get it. We're human beings. You know, when things are said, it doesn't feel good. But that's why I always tell you, you got to remind yourself of the facts about life. So when people throw me feelings, how they feel about me, I remind myself of my facts. And so my facts dismiss how they feel about me. So I don't get in my feelings because of how someone feels about me, because I know the facts of my life. Right? I have these standards. I know my values. I know what I'm not going to settle for. So it makes life easy for me because these things are my facts. So I don't have to worry about people throwing feelings at me to get me in my feelings. Okay, so back to work. I'm getting off track here, but I'm going to stay on track. Back to work. I'm going to read some notes that I have because they're very, very powerful. When it comes to work, I feel like it's 2 things, right? They write these things down. We're only going to talk about one today. We're only going to talk about acceptance, but I feel like worth is made up of the acceptance of self and the confidence of self. And so we'll talk about confidence later on this week, maybe if I can get back on here. But let's talk about acceptance of self. What does acceptance mean in a dictionary? Acceptance means embracing something in all aspects, being in complete agreement with, giving your full support of approval. So in my words, I would say you being good with you, period. You knowing that you're enough, like full support. So even in your perfections, you know you enough. Even in your imperfections, you know you enough, period. Not just when you at your best, right? You know you're enough when you at your best, and you know you're enough when you at your quote unquote worst. Not just with the gains, but also the losses, right? You have accepted yourself, because when you accept yourself, period, nobody can use anything against you. When you accept, when you say, you know what, I'm good with my past. Yep, that's what I used to do. That's what I used to be. I'm good with it. Because guess what? I grew from that. And a lot of us, we don't accept who we are. We judge who we are, right? It's time for you to stop judging yourself, and it's time for you to start loving yourself. Let's get it.